Thank you to all those joining us for this talk. In this presentation, I'm going to be presenting our paper, Collaboration, Invisible Work and the Costs of Macrotask Freelancing. Get to the actual talk, I would like to give a quick overview of the agenda for this talk. First, I would like to introduce the setting and the key research questions that we wanted to answer with our paper. We then move on to the method that we employ to conduct the study and collect our data and our sampling strategy. I'll then move on to the key findings that came out of our study. And then I'll conclude the paper with some key takeaways that come from our study. So if you examine the work done on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, TopTal, and so on, it's task oriented. Now, these are macro tasks, unlike the micro tasks that you find on platforms like Amazon Mechanical Turk. Macro tasks involve specialized knowledge, expertise, and creativity. These could be in diverse heterogeneous domains such as graphic design, software development, software localization, digital marketing, and so on, video production, and so on. The knowledge and skill intensive nature of these tasks makes the process of client freelancer collaboration to get the work done, as well as matching freelancers with clients, assume paramount importance. Prior studies on Upwork and the Macrotask context have primarily investigated the platform freelancer dyad as opposed to the client freelancer dyad. We build on and extend this body of research by studying the client freelancer dyad, focusing in particular on the work involved in macrotasking from the freelancer's perspective. So the key research questions that we wanted to answer with our study were: how do online freelancers reason about accomplishing macro tasks in practice? How does platform design shape the process of matching freelancers with clients or tasks? What are the implications of the platform design for the power relations between freelancers and clients? And what strategies do freelancers adopt to reduce the transaction costs that they incur and the overall precarity at work? So when conducting the study, we decided to go with an online interview study, and we conducted it with 21 freelancers on Upwork during June and August 2019. And when sampling participants for our study, we made sure that we included freelancers from diverse backgrounds and skill sets, and as well as those with prior experience with enterprise clients on Upwork and both part-time and full-time freelancers. When we juxtaposed the problems that freelancers experienced that came out of our study with findings from a prior study that had examined macrotask work, but from the client's perspective, we found that the same set of core issues were mirrored for both sides of the market. We term this phenomenon mirroring. So we define mirroring as a phenomenon where the same fundamental problem manifests itself differently for either side of the market, resulting in transaction costs and market asymmetries. In the interest of time, we are going to briefly discuss two key challenges for each side and how they are two key fundamental issues and how they are mirrored for both clients and freelancers. So the first step when commencing on a task is for freelancers to understand what the task is that they would be working on. And in this context, they squarely put the onus on the clients to be clear and precise about what the task entails. Applying to tasks that do not have clear descriptions is seen as a waste of time and effort. Freelancers therefore expect a hands-on involvement from the client in scoping the task and its deliverables. Similarly, getting the task done is seen as an inherently collaborative effort. Freelancers argue that if clients think that they can simply pass the buck onto freelancers and it will get done somehow, then it will invariably lead to an impasse. But when we juxtapose this with the findings presented by Lustig et al. In their client perspective study, we saw that this is not defining a task is not always a straightforward process for clients either. For clients, the problem is, how do you define a task that you do not know how to get done yourself? Also, they have to think about confidentiality of information, intellectual property, and so on, given the context. So for them designing a task in a way that it can be accomplished fairly independently by the freelancer with limited feedback or limited access to resources from their end is a challenge as well. Once there is an understanding of what the task is, the next major step in the process, which is figuring out how to get it done, can also pose various challenges for both freelancers and clients. For instance, from our study, we found that freelancers are frustrated when clients underestimate the complexity of the task, the information that freelancers might need to go about getting the task done, or the time required to get it done. Clients can also be non-responsive at times, which creates uncertainty for freelancers in terms of how to proceed. While clients not controlling every aspect of the task means that freelancers do enjoy sufficient creative freedom, it can easily turn into a waste of time and effort if the client does not approve of the final output. For these reasons, freelancers expect a proactive hands-on involvement over the course of the job from the clients. And part of this involves alignment work that they engage in with clients to ensure that clients' expectations and their understandings of the task match. But for clients, a hands-on involvement in the process of getting the task done is a bit self-defeating because one of the reasons they reach out to freelancers is because they're already working at full capacity and they need help with taking on any additional workload. They also experience skill gaps and are unable to provide the kind of support that freelancers expect from them. It is also challenging for clients to iterate several times on tasks with freelancers without taking on the added overhead of renegotiating the pay. So we discuss how at different stages of the entire workflow, there are challenges that come up and the same set of tensions manifest for both sides of the market. They are mirrored for both clients and freelancers in our paper. So just to our study found that freelancers perceive accomplishing macro tasks as a collaborative achievement with the client. The skill intensive nature of work coupled with the high touch interaction in turn requires that the freelancer and the client are matched properly. Not only does the freelancer need the requisite skills to get the task done, but the quality of the match is also important to establish a conducive working relationship with the client. In our paper, we describe the three main programmatic solutions that Upwork offers to facilitate the matching process and reduce transaction costs for either side. But they do bring in a mix of benefits and limitations for freelancers. Freelancers on their own seek to reduce the cost that they incur and the overall precarity at work by trying to get repeatedly hired. Repeat hiring reduces the cost and effort involved in finding work for freelancers as work in a way finds them instead. It also enables them to earn a more reliable, steady income stream. Lastly, it facilitates knowledge sharing between clients and freelancers over time and paves the way for more effective collaboration. This in turn also makes it more feasible for clients to hire the same freelancers time and again. Thank you.